Islam Moors.
Am I doing the intro or do you want to do it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just do a little thing and then you can fly right in.
Okay, dope.
All right.
Sounds good.
Peace, Moors.
Islam.
Let's rise and do our honors. Face the east.
Face my east.
5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom.
And
justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
And
my salvation. By night.
And
by day.
To
his holy prophet.
Noble
Drew Ali.
Islam.
Islam.
Yes, so we're here for installment number 3. Installment number 3.
And counting.
Number 3.
And counting. With Califa Moors in California. That their activity is monumentous. The type of activity that they're doing. So, you know, we take it on ourselves to make sure that we give a platform to Moors who are active and open to presenting information to people, minus the fees and stuff that, you know, some people like to charge in order to rate their people. So we try our best to connect with Moors that are about uplifting fallen humanity first, and then whatever else after that. Before we go in, Brother Tallahassee, last week, 2 weeks ago, was on eBay and bumped into a 1936 Holy Quran.
Woo.
Wow.
Right? A 1936 Holy Quran.
Okay.
The individual said that it was somebody in their family that was in the temple, and it was just one of those things that got handed down, right? So we just want to put that out. We know
you brought it?
We got it.
Oh shit.
Right? So it's official that there was Holy Qurans of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. It's not just something that, you know, hear people talk about, right? That it was that or it's not that or whatever. Here's the documented proof, right? That there was Holy Qurans of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. And for all the fakers out there, every Holy Quran is supposed to have seals in it. So we got, you know, we got the seals in it, right? We'll pass it around.
Seriously?
And
26.
we have to also keep in mind that what Noble Drew Ali brought for the Moors is their salvation, right? And we know through us setting up out here that Noble Drew Ali did come up here. Noble Drew Ali did want to have a temple here. Noble Drew Ali was talking to the right people in order to make certain things happen here, but then he got assassinated. So, you know, that right there is just further evidence, proof or whatever, that we're supposed to be here. You know what I mean? That Allah's got us, prophets got us, and Moors that are active and not passive got us. Right? And we don't have to worry about naysayers and people who don't have faith in this out here, because believe me, there's thousands of Moors out there who know what we're doing, recognize what we're doing, and they do like Sister Al-Zahra and the Califa Moors do. They allow themselves the opportunity to use Canaanland as a platform to teach. Right? So we get this started up. Round of applause for Sister Al-Zahra Bey.
Islam.
Alright, try again.
Alright.
Alright.
Thumbprint. 10 of them. I said, that'll not happen again. Those are pretty good that. Yeah, no problem.
But I did.
Right, Amari? Right? Huh?
I'm in class right now.
I heard all about the nigger industry trying to jump up in the temple.
All right. Take two. Okay. Not sure where I was. Okay.
Can't take off on
We
myself.
went into the About Us,
Yes, you
and
can.
I was talking about the research service. How a brother who came to us for publishing services, he offered to assist us, feedback. I'm gonna turn my volume down. But he offered to offer research services to us, and he's intense when it comes to the research. Like I said, he's an elder, and he's been doing this for a while, and this is all he wants to do. We also do marketing. We believe strongly in strength in numbers. So Califa Media is a bunch of people who, you might see my name on a lot of stuff, but that's usually just as editor. I'm helping people put their products together, and we're going out as a unified force to bring it to the people. And that links directly to the publishing. Everything goes through Califa Media. So, but we do have it set up where we are able to keep track of the royalties and who's producing what to make sure everybody gets what they're owed. And we also do creative design as far as like original content, taking your content, such as like you have a logo already and we can put it on different products. And we also do virtual media, such as videos and PowerPoints. Some of our products that we offer: history books. The book that started this whole movement was Moors in America, a compilation. And apparently there's been talk about a part 2. I'll let you all know when I know. I'm just, like I said, I'm supposed to be working on it, but I've only heard about it. We also offer cultural books because Moors might know what to do, Muslims know what to do, RBG know what to do, but we going after the black people who just watching TV and trying to find something to fill in the blank spaces. And all of our cultural books we're not coming up with anything new. We're going back and finding what was the last thing that worked for us and going to that. Put a modern spin on it. Because, we're not trying to live in the graveyard. We're just trying to honor our mothers and fathers. We also offer research material. Actually, the history and the cultural books are being used as the research material to write our other literature. I don't know where it is. Okay. Our clientele. We focus primarily on providing materials and services to Moorish Americans. And while we know that includes everyone, we're also specifying that we offer our services to Muslims and Muslims. There is a difference. Hebrew Israelites, which I guess I could have just put Hebrew because the Israelites are Moors too. In fact, I'm not mistaken, the Moorish Israelite temple predates the Moorish Science temple. The African diaspora, that's basically anybody claiming to be African, because Africans don't claim to be African, they claim to be whatever country they're from. And yes, it is reverse discrimination. I'll be the first one to admit it. Because while there is focus on Islamic literature, there is Hebrew literature, there is Moorish literature, and there is African literature. But there's nothing that encompasses all of those subjects into one piece of material, written by somebody who's a living, breathing, walking example of that lifestyle. We're trying to address that issue because these people are out there. Like I said, we put together one book, and it took me 3 weeks to write it, 3 weeks to get it through publishing, and I started offering people, you know what, you can use my suffering to your benefit. Oh, I have a stack of stuff. I just didn't know what to do with it. Well, now you do. So we are catering to our own people. And me personally, I grew up in the Nation of Islam, so I have no problem And I'm ready and willing to accept the fact that every time we say, oh, I'm doing it for my people, you can expect to be attacked as a racist, blah, 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 blah. It's fine for everybody else, but when it comes to us, it's an issue. And I welcome it. It's like, bring it. Because I'm tired of you all making a big deal of me supporting my people. And so you can do it. And like it says, when you do it, we're exploited. So I'll have no part of that, you know. Our services are open to all on a case-by-case basis because the other areas are already represented. You know, there are already Islamic presses. They're just not dealing with our form of Islam. They deal with our Islam. We deal with the form that came before that. You know, there are Moorish books. How many are written by actual Moors with El and Bay attached to their name? You know, there's tons of stuff on Jewish literature, but not Hebrew literature written by anybody I want to listen to. Because, you know, the people talking about Hebrew facts and literature are liars. They're the synagogue of Satan, so I can't listen to them. I have to go to my own people because they're experts. You see them on, I don't know how it works up there, but they're on the corner out here, all right? They're very well versed. And of course I want to hear your version from you. I don't, you know, I'm tired of other people telling our story to us, and they always getting it wrong or just straight out lying. And like I said, I don't think it's on accident. Some of our services, like I said, we do editorial and layout. What you see up there is the updated dues card, right? It's beautiful, and we do these. We make this service available to all temples, and on our website there are prices for everything, but there's a separate price list for temples, and like if you're a bookstore, we also offer reduced prices because like we're trying to get it out there. Like I said, we do ghostwriting because not everybody is a writer. I love writing, so let's meet up and make something happen, right? We offer research services. The brother, the elder, who does the genealogical research, he's sending me to a Black genealogical symposium. I had no idea this thing. There's Black genealogists? I didn't know. There's so many of them that they have at conferences? I didn't know. I know now because of this brother who came to me because he wanted to get some information out. And I'm a trained researcher. You know, I've trained in history research, mathematical research, and then messed around and got a paralegal certification, so I know how to do legal research too. So when you submit your paperwork to us for editing or proofreading, oh yeah, we go in because we want to make sure that we're getting the right information to our people, and we want to make you look good. So we vet, if you know that word, vetting, we vet everything. We do publishing. Like I said, I went through hell trying to get my book published. I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. And the last book we published, it was accepted for publication on first try, so I guess I finally figured out the formula. The document that just came up, this is what the publishing, as far as offering it for flyers to the public. This Moorish Youth Be Like, this was a document. If you're on Facebook regularly, you see Moors Be Like, Moorish Youth Be Like. That's a brother out here who started that, Cosmo L. Cujo knows him. So he's been putting together these different flyers, and I fell in love with it. And I'm like, something has to be done with this. This just should be stuff on Facebook. We had the grand opening for our temple coming up. I'm like, this is perfect. The prophet had calling cards for most, if not all, of his events. They were like little souvenirs. So you get like a program at an opera or something. You keep that, or unfortunately, our people. The programs you get at funerals, since everybody seems to be familiar with that one. Those are collector's items. So I put this together as a collector's item for our grand opening for our temple. So this was a collaboration between Cosmo and Califa Media. Actually, his company is Enterprise Productions, I believe. Enterprise Cultural Products. So it was a collaboration between Enterprise Productions, Cultural Products, Califa Media, all under protection of the Moorish Science Temple by way of the Moorish Guide Publishing Company. If you all are familiar with consecration, if you saw the Mormon presentation I did, it's all about consecration, all right? I'm not trying to get a copyright for my own stuff. I'm just gonna take it, all right? We were the first pirates, and I'm reviving that too. You can't do nothing because it's mine, and you gotta get through the temple if you wanna touch me, all right? We are not thieves. All we're doing is, I'm not gonna ask you for my own stuff back. I'm just gonna take it back because you stole it anyway. You can't get mad for me reclaiming my stuff. But just so I don't have to have a headache, I'm gonna put it under this temple that you can't touch. All right, and you know it. That was the last. Oh, there's some other stuff we do. We do flyers, and we also do it where we'll make it where you can have handouts for your event. So when you ask for, oh, I need a flyer, you don't just get a flyer with us. You get the handouts to come with it. All right, we're full service because we're trying to undercut everybody. Because I can see the writing on the wall. Moors are in the news. Okay. Cujo just did the speak on those quote unquote Moors in the federal court. I was dying when I saw that report. Like, wait a minute. Moors in federal court? That's like the easiest jurisdiction to get out of. Okay, that's the first fail. They had lawyers. Second fail. No L or A anywhere to be found. Third fail. Right? And then they had a fourth fail. I'm just looking like this is a joke. This is Tony come to America for real. Me personally, I think that was fake, just like that thing going on in Nigeria. Because I know, getting off the subject, I know Nigerian men, there's no way that would be going on the end. But yeah, it's fake. So now that there's news about all these Moors, quote unquote, escaping federal prison. Okay, that's the fifth fail. You escape federal custody? Alright, fine, sure. But you know what's getting ready to happen. Somebody's gonna look it up. Oh, the Moors. I'm gonna write their story because I can't find them telling their own story. And I'm gonna make $1 million. Because I look at Exhuming of a Nation. How did Pleasant Bay write that book and sell it for $35? Some European bought it and went online and sold it for $300. So now you gotta order it directly from him. That's the only way you can get it. Alright? Me personally, I think he should have set up a publishing company. And then he could have gone after that person. Like, you're not reselling, reselling is something different from trying to profit off my stuff. But whatever. Hopefully he'll be coming under the fold soon because that was bogus how they did him. Anyway, we do video editing, creative design, and we'll get into that. Oh, we'll get into it right now. The picture that just came up was the picture I was given of the, what was it, Morris Trade Code. And there'll be more information coming out on that in the future. This thing in the corner right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse. This is supposed to be a lamb. And that'll look like, it looks like a monkey, all right? So it's supposed to be the lion and the lamb, you know, and they're supposed to be working together, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing, it was just bad. I'm like, nah, you want me to put this on the back book that I'm going to put my name on? I can't do it. So the grant sheet out here gave me the opportunity to redraw it. And so I did. That's all original content. Because I was just going to fix the lamb, but you know how that goes. You start out fixing the corner, next thing you know, I'll just do the whole thing. So yeah, so now we have something that we can actually be proud of. And the lamb looks like a lamb. All right? And that's me. I kind of shy away from letting people know what I'm able to do because next thing I know, my piece is jeopardized. But yeah, I've been drawing since I was 4 nonstop, so you know I got skills, and I'm offering them to my people. Some other creative. See this one. This is one I just released last night. This is the sisterhood, encouraging sisterhood, right? This is about to be a t-shirt because the Moors have been saying, where's the t-shirt? That's sleep on me. And this happened. It started with books. Somebody asked me for research. Now we do research. Somebody asked me for ghostwriting. Now we do that. Somebody asked me, how do I get it published? Now we do that. Can I get a t-shirt? Now we do that. So basically, what you need, you know, don't offer it, it's probably because we don't know you need it, right? Another example is, so I drew this. This was all original content because there was nothing out there celebrating the sisters. Spotted the felony. What you see in the middle is the unique skin. Moorish Science Temple number 101 actually has these physical pins. And I'll show you mine when I'm done. I'm actually wearing one of them. We have two of them available. This one was designed off of an article put in the Moorish Guide in 1928, I believe. So this isn't something I made up. I followed the instructions left by our foremothers and forefathers. And you can, if you want, we offer the pen, or they offer the pen with the correct version, which is the one you're looking at. But there's also the one for, you know, people who are uncomfortable with the upside down star. You know, if you know your science, you know why you shouldn't be uncomfortable with that. So, but for the nervous Nellies, we got the one with the right side, the star right side up. And on the right, you see Califa Law. Right? This is getting ready to, some of you might have seen our first post. I'm tired of people coming to me with the same question. I'm not tired of the question. I'm tired of the repeat questions. So again, spotted the felony. We've started a blog called Califa Law. Law stands for legal asylum, and the W could stand for either one of two things depending on what you're doing. It's a legal asylum watcher, which means you're keeping an eye on the system trying to lock our people up, or you're a legal asylum worker. The watcher came back to you with news of some injustice, get to work. Perfect place to share all our successes and tactics with these three, right? Oh, why is it exposed to the public like that? My thing is, it's a velvet repetition. If you can see my strategy and know that I'm capable of carrying it out, you might be a little less likely to attack me. I'm trying to make it too expensive for these people to be bothering us. Not necessarily with money, with inconvenience. Because somebody messed around and told me about the Court of International Claims, and now I've involved him. It's a European, but the stuff he's putting up is incredible. So he's been invited to be a contributor to our law blog. And if anybody else is interested in contributing, all it is if you have a great idea or something that's on your mind that you just can't keep in your head, please share. Wars are supposed to be about sharing the knowledge, all right? Because that's why we're in trouble right now, because people are keeping stuff to themselves. Not purposely or maliciously, it's just, and we know too. And we also do virtual media. We set up websites. And from that website, Facebook, Pinterest, MailChimp, YouTube, JobForm, CreateSpace, Amazon, and we do local postings. Details about all of those, I can answer that after this presentation, but details are also available on our website. And you can access the website just by Googling Califa Media. And that's Califa, C-A-L-I-F-A, Media. Right? And again, we do marketing, like I said. Basically what you need. If you see something, if I haven't mentioned something that you've been like, where's this, where's that? We probably do it, we just don't know you need it. As soon as you know, if we don't do it, guess what? We're going to find out how to do it. Because we're trying to corner the market on our people. Because the European is surrendering. If you're paying attention, watching the news, listening to the radio, he's surrendering. All right? That whole thing, I don't know if you all heard about the fallout with the, what is that, the Clippers? Oh, that's messed up. I'm in LA and I don't even know the details of this story, except that it happened here. But you swear that was an accident. Oops, I messed around and told my black girlfriend I can't stand black people, even though she's been known to take my conversations. Yeah, right, all right? They're surrendering. If you even look at the commercials, yes, okay, we're not even that old, all right? When you were a child, how often did you see your face on TV? Then they finally put the, what was that, the Cosby Show? Where the men looked right, but all the women looked European. Okay, they're getting closer, all right? And they all had perms, because you know it's all about these women. If you pay attention, it's all about these women. So, okay, yeah, you know, mom is a lawyer, dad's a doctor, and all the children look adopted, especially the girls, okay? They all got perms. Except Rudy, which was funny. She was the only... Rudy and Vanessa when the art was look natural. That was really funny. But anyway, so fast forward maybe 5-10 years in living color. Okay, fast forward some more years. What's that show? Martin. Oh, I love Martin. Where he got all the African stuff on his walls. He got the drums. But look at his girlfriend. Right? Big old perm. Light as she could be. No love lost, but it's like, I see what y'all are doing. You know, success only comes with a light-skinned woman. Keep going. Fast forward to today. Look at the commercial with our people in them. Ain't a perm to be found no more. What's going on? All the women got natural hair. And then the brothers, you know, it looked like he just rolled out of bed. You know, we don't even have to do nothing. We can literally roll out of bed and it looks like a hairstyle. Look at their hair. I don't know if it's going on up there, but out here, I guess because I'm in the factory, I'm right up the street from Hollywood, right? I can see the sign from the window. But, it's everywhere. It's like, if you ain't natural, don't come back. You're not called back. They want you with nappy, kinky hair now. And they don't want it done. It needs to be like as rough and natural, which is funny. Our hair is called natural, so what is everybody else's? But, yeah, they want that rough look going on. So, that, okay, y'all are embracing our natural image. Even with the women. Okay, that's a trip. And now you got these dudes coming out, or these men, this slave owner come out, you know, don't bring no niggas to my game. You know, I got niggas on the floor, and niggas are the ones buying all the tickets. Don't bring them to my game, right? Oops, sure. And then who comes out, and you don't hear nobody else talking about buying this team except us. No Russians? Okay, who else got oil money? No Africans? Who else? No Saudis? There's tons of Saudis out here. Tons of them. None of them want to buy a basket? No, they don't want no team. They're surrendering. So, you got to make your claim now. I'm claiming the publishing industry, all right? Because you know it's all getting ready to fall anyway. Nobody believes anybody but us. Have you all seen that show Cosmos on Fox, I think?
Yeah.
The new one with the astrology and all that stuff? What's the pilot on that plane? They just released a video on the tip of Einstein hosted by a brother with a combed down afro. So you don't even trust your own people to tell your story anymore. It's all coming through us. Make your claim. I don't care what it is you automatically gonna be assumed to be doing it better. Which you probably are anyway because of that melanin magic, alright? But I digress. So, you know, you always ask me what piece of wisdom I got at the end of the show. There you go. All right, some of our products. Morals in America. That's the book that started it all. All right. I had no idea that there was a hunger for this kind of information. I guess we shouldn't assume that, oh, well, I know it. It's common knowledge. No, everything in this book I've seen 20 times over, but, you know, Amazon is quite happy. They just now have it printed. I thought, you know, I found this out because they told me we don't print your books until somebody orders it because you're self-published. You can't just have your stuff sitting on the shelf collecting dust. And at the beginning, they were shipping my books out maybe a week and a half after I ordered it, which says, okay, it takes a week and a half to print it and then actually ship it out. Now it's same day, which means they have it sitting on the shelf. All right? So since they did that, I'm like, okay, let's ride this way. I'll put out another book. This one is a collection of a few items I had that I thought everybody had. And actually, it's a few copies of that, what was that? It was a book you brought up and on your class, during your class Tuesday, Cujo, about, it was a hefty, huge book that you said every grand sheet should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. This book has pieces of that book. But these pieces are from an archive. I can't give the name away because that'll give away the person who gave it to me. But it's a trusted archive, right? where a member donated, I think the member or the member's child after they died, donated stuff that they got direct from the profit. All right. So these are copies of original prints that this man probably got hands on. Again, because I did this because of the whole confusion with the what is that? The Constitution. And then I looked into the one-on-ones. And depending on who you in your one-on-one, those words are different. I have the original one-on-ones issued by the temple and approved by the prophet. So it's one of those things where it's like, it might be the same as yours. Here's a good way to make sure you have it or what you think you got. And that's now available online. And it's got letters from the prophet are in it and newspaper clippings are in it. It's pretty good. I think it's about 40 pages, and that's $20. All our books are $20 if you buy the hard copy, and $7 for the copy. All right. And usually the Kindle copy is in color because it's a whole lot cheaper to print Kindle, to have a color electric book and a color hard copy book. So we're keeping in mind, you know, we're trying to keep the prices low. Some books we have coming soon. Oh, this was coming out probably at the end of this month. Moorish Muslim Children's Guide to History and Culture. It's a comic book, right? Written by George, nicknamed Geo Lee, all right? This man is amazing. I'm trying so hard to find some information on him, but, yeah. I'm sorry?
No, nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, but it's if you can look in that. Is somebody asking a question?
No, no.
Okay. His name is George Lee, and look at his art style. You can see that every comic artist that came after him is biting off of this man, unless it's us. All right, we come up with all original content because you know we're not imitators, we're originators. This man. The book is amazing, all right? It's all stuff. I guess he was a member of the temple because he wrote a comic book celebrating Moorish heroes in history. And the book is from like 1929. The pictures were horrible. But that's one of the services that Califa Media provides. We do restoration, okay? So now the children will have it's for children, but I write all of my books for children. That way the adults can enjoy them too. But I can't write adult books because the children might not be able to read them. And if they want, they can upgrade. It's black and white, so if they want to be, you know, expressing their Moorishness, they can. And you see the cover. Coming soon, a book for children on Moorish architecture. Because they should have this in their hand. Actually, that's already started. It's called the Moorish Tea Table book, not coffee table. And the most needed, the boy with the butterfly. Mm-hmm. This one I'm anticipating releasing next year. It's already in the works, but you know, my family's motto is proprietus, qualitas, ingenius. Means quality, quality, quality. So it's gonna take me, even though it's done, it's probably gonna take me a year before I'm comfortable enough to release it. Because unlike the other ones, this is completely 100% original content. In my first speech with you all, I was talking about the courtship ritual among our people. And I was like, if we asked each other, what do you do to introduce or get to know somebody of the opposite sex better? All the answers would be different. This book is standard, based on Moorish culture and Islamic law, not Sharia law. All right, because I'm starting to find out Islamic law and Sharia law are not necessarily the same thing. Okay, that's going to be good because that's going to have portions of your Sister's Auxiliary book too. Which, like I said, every time I speak to y'all, I'm going rogue. I might have to just go ahead and release that one because Lauren's dragging their guard, and I'm tired of waiting. All right, more coming soon. Like I said, the Sister's Auxiliary book. Don't tell nobody. Music production and distribution. Messed around and found out yesterday that I use CreateSpace. CreateSpace is the program that allows you to publish directly to Amazon and Kindle. CreateSpace will also allow you to put up your music, okay, like iTunes. You don't have to just be stuck with iTunes. Amazon does it too. And people like Amazon a little better because iTunes is for Apple products. Amazon works with everybody's media, all right, which is why I'm about to start pushing that too. They also do the same thing with videos. So if you are good at speaking and you have something that, man, I just can't get this away on YouTube, don't. Amazon will not own or CreateSpace through us. You know, you can do all the work and figure it out, but I've already done that. You can either produce your own DVDs or, actually, you can do both. You can sell your DVD through Amazon, right? Amazon will also allow you to rent your video through their platform. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, good. So we do all that. We're about to start expanding into that. We've also started up My Brother's Keeper because Morris, I finally remember what our grand chief said. They need to find a mate and procreate. All right. If you're tired of being surrounded by crazy people, make the people that you want to be surrounded by. All right. Even if that means going out and just marrying somebody and adopting a bunch of children, do that. You know, a man who takes upon himself widows and orphans has to get some place saved you in heaven. Especially, you know what's coming. You know, your child gonna run down the street, Mama, I saw a man. So why not get ready for that now? Don't wait till it's time to be ready to get ready. So we started My Brother's Keeper. First 50 members are free. And then we're gonna start charging for the maintenance costs. Bluetooth is exactly what it sounds like. If you are tired of digging through millions, billions, and millions of inaccurate information, right? People yelling and people giving all their opinions and no facts. We're about to start a YouTube version or a version of YouTube where it's just our stuff. And you have to be approved to have your stuff on our board. So it's going to be all reliable content. All right. It's not going to be like, oh, well, we're going to censor you and we're going to watch your videos first. No. Does your reputation precede you? If you've been a trusted instructor, welcome. We have a space for you. If you just running your, that's what YouTube is for. All right, we're trying to, like I said, quality, quality, quality. We're trying to hold ourselves up to a higher standard because it's time. And the Divine Guidance News Network. This is another project of our grand chief, and I'm guessing it's getting ready to get transferred to me because you know how you hear about stuff before it finally gets assigned to you. So basically, we're working with you all. As far as like the newspaper and stuff. We're working with Morris in Georgia and Virginia. And I'm getting ready to start working with a bookstore in New York. We're working with a bookstore in LA. I would get a collaboration between the bookstore in LA and the bookstore in New York because they're doing the exact same thing. So that's what Divine Guidance News Network came from. Where you're a Moorish guy, Canaanland, we're Califa Media, but we come together under the Moorish Guide News Network, which can go worldwide. Like ABC, NBC, which is so funny. So we got DGN, I'm digging it. All right? And like I said, that's going to incorporate the Moorish Guide newspapers in LA and California. Actually, yeah, because there's a brother who got in touch with me in the Bay Area. He's just started sending me his newsletter, and it's so cool. It's a newspaper for the Bay Area, for Moors. He couldn't find anybody to print the hard copy, so he just makes it available online, 25 cents. But that's cool because you don't have no production cost. And so now it's like, well, I would love for the Moors in LA to get a hold of that. I need somewhere where they can go one-stop shop to get the news in their area and around the world. Divine Guidance News Network. And we're about to start up Islamic Community Access Channel out here. Because apparently there used to be one, but there was nobody interested in keeping it running. There is now. All right, so why choose Califa Media? First and foremost, consecration. Okay? Anything you do through Califa Media is automatic. As soon as we say it's a Califa Media product, wholly owned by the Morris Guide publishing company. It's automatically consecrated and protected. So if anybody got, oh, you stole my content, we'll make it right because we're honorable people, but you can't sue me. You really can't, right? Because first of all, it's probably my stuff in the first place. And second of all, you know, you got to deal with God because he told me to do this. Posterity preservation. It's amazing the number of Moors that I've met who have one copy of their book. And I get so mad, like, you are so stingy. You have this information and you're keeping it all to yourself. That's wrong. If anything, let me get a copy of it from the history department. And then I'll let you come to the conclusion that it might behoove all of us if you let me go ahead and publish it. And my thing is, if you have a book and your funds are tight, I understand that. How about this? I'll publish your book and you get the same price as everybody else. I'm not going to cheat you, but you don't earn any royalties until I collect my fee from those royalties. So your book is out there. Your name is getting out there. And I'm getting paid off your royalties until you pay me back. So that way, you're not being held up because, you know, I understand the system is set up for you to fail. And I'm doing a workaround. So there's no need to wait. Let's get started. And again, like I said, it's probably something good that needs to get out there anyway. And it's not yours, it's for our children. There's strength in numbers. You can go out there as Cujo, Cosmo, Tahita, or you can go as Califa Media. Hey, they released another one? Yup. They released another one? Yup. They got 3 more lined up coming out. It looks like we're doing a lot of work, but that might be like one person working on each project. It just looks like you're productive because you got all these other people working around you. Use an established, trusted organization. I keep saying it. The Moors are the last of the honorable people. Everybody's lying right now. Everybody. And if they're not, it's because they're practicing some form of more science. Perfect example is the Mormons, right? The trusted organizations are the Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Guide Publishing. That's been out since what, 1928? The Moorish Trade Post, it's been out since probably before then because the prophet was driving a Cadillac. So that money was coming from somewhere. And the Moorish Manufacturing Company. These are all organizations that we're working through right now. Moorish Guide is the one publishing it. The Trade Post is the one where you're doing business with all the other Moors. Yours just happens to be in the literature field. And the Manufacturing Company coming soon. Right now, I'll just plug it. I'm starting a booster campaign, trying to get money, raising money for my own printer. So then I can cut Amazon out the loop. I don't want to give them nothing either, right? I want it to be completely closed ranks. If you want something Moorish, you got to come through more, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's a stick. All right, so the only problems I have with this law of consecration document you see here is that they say that you do consecration to be joint heirs with Christ. You are Christ. Like I said in my Mormon presentation, they're trying to be joint heirs with you, okay? So why aren't you getting your own? If they trying to be, their aim in this life is to be as much like you as they can. So in order for you to prosper the way they prosper and maybe more, all you got to do is be yourself. That sounds good. And the patriarchal priesthood. You aren't patriarchal if you don't have a priesthood. You're supposed to be your own priest. Okay? And the fullness of the priesthood. Again, be your own priest. You know what? Just scrap it. There we go. Now it's right. All right. So, again, why choose Califa Media? Help us to help you. We will promote your media. This is a book released by Cosmo Amiel. He's real prolific, very, very, very active board. In fact, he just set up the Young People's Morris League Inland Empire in Fontana, California. So Allah willing, that's expanded to like a real temple. But he had me work on the forum. And he sent me some papers, you know. I just did the editing part. He had the book all written up. I just made it pretty. And I'm like, let me just throw this cover together. And he used it. But what? You're going to use the cover that I came up with, I have to plug that. Because not only am I helping, he has his own separate publishing company out. But Califa Media helped with the editing. So we get to do the advertising too. So, look, Califa Media, we support Cosmo L's endeavors. Look, Califa Media does cover design. Here's an example that we did with Cosmo L. I'm not saying we did the whole thing, but you know, I think this is the first page that I did. And look, we're all united. Look how we support each other. We're not tearing him down or nothing. You know, he's actually competition. If you want to look at it that way, I choose not to, because I figure there's room for all. It builds our reputation for quality to put more stuff out. This is the book that the brother that I was mentioning, who does the genealogical research, the elder. He gave me this book to put together, and I never heard from him again. I'm like, what? You ain't gonna pay me? I'm not doing nothing. And then it kept ringing in my ear something he said. He's like, oh, you know, I'm his mom. I pay my workers before the sweat even forms on their brow. Okay. And then he gave me this book. He's like, he gave me a ton of stuff. This thing was like 800. It was ridiculous how big this thing was. But it's a collection of all the materials he's been collecting over who knows how long. Because he's a year older than my mother. Now, not that my mother's old, but it's like, dang, you know. So he was like, oh, I want you to start with this book, Al-Qaeda, the one you see up there, so we can get some money coming in. And then I never heard from him again. And then, like, a week ago, it hit me what he did. This was my payment for the rest of the work that we'll be doing. So since he didn't actually have any fiat to give me, he gave me his book and said, earn your keep with this. Start with this. So yes, I'm putting together your book, but all the royalties stay with me until the royalties earned equal the charge, what I would have charged you. And then all those royalties will be coming to you. If that makes any sense. All right. And it's a unified presence. Again, Cosmo is technically the competition, but he's writing about more science. So no, he's on my team, right? And Brother Abdullah, that's Sheik Mo. He's funny. He's like straddling the fence. I'm not sure what's going on. He's called Sheik Mo, right? He claims he's more science, but he's like an honored elder in the Islamic Black Muslim community in LA, which is huge. So it's great. I forgot. Cosmo is part of the Maroons, which is the Jamaican camp of Moors. Right? They're not necessarily more science yet. I'm not implying anything with that. But look how beautiful that is. You're an honored elder in the Black Muslim community. You're the face of the Maroon community in Los Angeles. And both of y'all are working through Califa Media, which is owned by Moorish Science Temple. So you're participating in the temple business without being part of the temple. Because you know how people are like reluctant, I don't want to give up what I'm doing, I don't want to have to surrender anything. Well, you kind of are and you kind of not. So that's why that's the unified presence. We also do, in order to show unified presence, we do calling cards. The Prophet had calling cards. I don't understand why no other temples have them. We do. This is a template. So any temple, you know, that lets me know, oh, we want that, I'll probably just give it to you and just leave it up to you to make sure it gets printed and all that. I'll just send it to you because I'm trying to get a consistent presence of, oh, okay, I know this card because I got this when I was in New York. I got this when I was in Atlanta. I got this when I was in Toronto, and they all look the same. Consistency across the associated groups because, after all, RBG is RBG, right? We're just trying to put it all in one spot. That's my piece. Questions, comments, suggestions?
No, you're good.
Islam.
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 All right, I'm gonna put my actually, I want to show y'all a few samples real quick before we go into the comments. Okay. I want to show y'all a few of the items we have because I've just been on like a creative streak lately. All right, a few of the items we offer. Like I said, we do original content, but we also do restorations. This is a picture that I made for our acting chic in Augusta. His mother had passed and Mother's Day was coming up, and I just was like, I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm gonna honor their mother because I like him and his sister is the mom. I'm gonna do something nice for their mother. So this was the original photo that I was provided, and I updated it and added chapter and verse to it. His sister loved it. She wasn't even into more science. She absolutely loved it. So we do those, and these are kind of cool because especially if you have family that's resistant to more science, flatter them, right? Can you imagine handing your old crotchety uncle, I don't want to hear that mess, Jesus, 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 and you hand him something like that. That's actually him. What is she? That's him. That was the acting sheet. And I took his picture, and I made him a real sheet, right? A sheet sheet. And I'm like, that's not good enough. This needs to be educational. So I took his picture and superimposed it on a picture of the oldest Islamic learning center on the planet, Al-Zahar Mosque, which I was to find out this year is the school attached to the mosque is the school that Noble Drew Ali attended when he went to Egypt. All right. And this too goes to prove the point that yes, Noble Drew Ali was performing salat, he was praying like all the other Muslims. Because how you gonna go to Egypt, attend their top theological institution, and you don't have to pray like everybody else? I can't believe that. And why wouldn't you? So, but yeah, we do those. Oh, we've expanded into merchandising. This is the logo that goes on the back of all of our books that come out of Califa Media. This consecrates your work. Okay, you have the Moorish Guide, Made of Excellence, which is the Moorish manufacturing, and the Moorish trade post. And now it's on a t-shirt and hats. Red, black, and green trucker hats. Perfect for the summer. That's an old picture, old picture. I think that's the first one I did. And we do these, you know, I'll make it available like if like we do course boards, we do crown boards. We'll put you in a scene in a specific set of garb we picked out. But if you send me your picture and say, I want to see what I would look like in this, we can do that too. All right. This is the CERT logo. CERT is Community Emergency Response Team. This is being set up by FEMA because they have let it known quite clearly that if something happens, expect a Katrina, where nobody will come to your aid for at least 3 to 5 weeks. Okay? So down here, the Moors are taking it upon themselves to get certified by FEMA as being those people in charge. Since this is a federal program, these people actually outrank the police and the sheriff during a federal emergency. So you remember how during Katrina, nobody could get in to help the niggas? We would have been able to get in if we had this certification, okay? And yes, I'm gonna call them, you know, maybe if they get offended enough, they'll be like, stop calling me that. Okay, more, you know. So this is the CERT logo, and we'll be putting these on vests, you know, the pretty fluorescent vests, so that when people see this, they'll know, oh, okay, I don't have to get on this bus like, you know, this scary cracker is telling me. I can actually follow you, and if he tries to compel it compel me to follow him, it's a federal offense. Right? Which makes sense. It's like, well, fine. We're not trying to come into other people's neighborhood to do this. We just want to do this for our neighbors. So that needs to go. We do logos. We do logos. This is the logo for the ADAP Academy. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give away too much. Okay, and some of the other items we have that I will probably just make available to you all, because I believe, like I said, I'm seeking consistency across the board for all the temples. This is a sign that's supposed to be on the door of every temple or in your window. Even if that's not what it's for on a regular basis. Like I know some people have temples, it's a bookstore, but on Fridays and Sundays it's a temple. So you just, it's like the, what is that? The Masons and how they have their emblem on their car. This is the emblem for your window. And all it needs is to be filled in with your number. I will just make this available to you, all right? And if you have, down at the bottom you see it says address, and if you have a website and your phone number. So you just put this in your window so people walking past, oh, wow, I've been looking for one of these. I had no idea this was a temple, just because you didn't have no sign in your window, all right? Something else you will be making available, or I will be making available. This is a big one. I need finance, and I need it badly. What does that mean? What do you mean finance? The prophet actually had a document out that tells you exactly what finance he's talking about and what it goes to. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it outlines everything, how much it's supposed to be, what it's going towards, and this really makes your temple look so credible and honest, right? Because guaranteed, especially down here, it might not be a bigger problem up north. You go in there and you hand this to one of your members or a newly proclaimed board, and he opens it up. What? Dude's only $10 a month. Damn, when you're charging me $50. Well, it's supposed to only be $10. You know, because we based it off of, okay, the first temple was charged 25 cents in gold and silver. What does that translate to today? We're not making this stuff up. We're not trying to get paid off this, but you know, the temple does need to be. So, y'all just be making this available. I think, yeah, only thing that'll be different, if you want it, I just need to change the top part to contact information on it. But other than that, this is a template. And the other one I think that I should give away is, well, there's a couple more. You know, I'm always pushing the Sisters Auxiliary. This was the incorrect Eunice pen I was talking about. This was somebody's personal choice. This isn't what it's supposed to look like. Actually, I'm wearing the correct one, and I'll show you that one in a second. But needless to say, right under the temples side should be one of these. Because as we know, this is all about these women. If we get them on board, you know, this whole movement is going to start flowing a whole lot smoother. And the other one that we have is the, oh, I love this one. I have come for the young and yet to be born. So go get them. How do you get them? Here's a Young People's Morris League trifold. I don't know if you all have one set up yet. I'll make this available to you all so you can look at it yourselves and see exactly what the Young People's Morris League is, how it came about, and what their aim is. All right? And of course, you gotta attract children, so you have a puzzle on the back to see what they know. And the cool thing of the puzzle, you do the puzzle, and then you gotta cut it out and bring back the application. Okay? And the Young People's Morris League is open to young people ages 3 through 30. Okay? And the information in the middle is for the temple's information. And then on the back is the Young People's Morris League information. Because down here, they're in 2 separate buildings, which is kind of cool. So you have to go to the president of the Young People's Morris League. I'm so proud of this brother. He's 21 years old and owns 2 businesses. He'll be 22 this year. Owns 2 businesses. He owns the beauty salon and the beauty supply place that supplies the salon. So the young people's flourishly is held in his beauty salon. So what is that teaching our children? Look what your president ain't just talking. He's living that life. He's 22 years old, not even 22 yet. He owns 2 businesses, however he did it. He owns 2 businesses, and in order to, he's your leader. And then every Friday he tells you to meet him up at the temple for your regular meetings. But like I said, I think they have a website, and if they don't, they got to get one, because we do websites. And the other thing, love this one. You have got to get this one. The Moorish Science Temple of America trifold. These are all trifolds that I just showed you. And I'll be making this one available to you as well. These are something that you can just print out and just have sitting on the shelf at the door in your temple. Because sometimes you don't want to stand there explaining to people everything about the temple. You know, especially if you've been doing it for how many years? Not months, not weeks, years. Okay, here, take this. Take this trifold, right? And like I said, all of these is, you will have to change the information to reflect your temple's information. And I don't know, I think our grant sheet is charging for all the stuff that I just showed you, but that's not my thing. I'll just say it. I don't deal with finance. That's why I said you need to be in charge of this, because I'll just give it away. Especially the temple, it's like y'all doing the work, I'm just gonna give it to you. So Pujo, just don't let me forget, because I got so much stuff going on. Whatever you want, just let me know and I'll make sure you get it.
Love.
And I think that's that for that. Yeah. And we have a website. I guess I could bring it up real quick while I have the share screen on. Like I said, you can just Google Califa Media. And because it's a Google site, it'll come up first. Actually, oh my goodness, a lot of stuff. You're looking for the Google site. No, that's not it either. Okay. There we go, Califa Media. The reason why all of these Google sites, when you Google anything, Google specifically, anything from Morris, California, we come up first, because if you set up your accounts through Google, that's free advertising for them, so they make sure your stuff comes up first. In order to get your business or your event or whatever on Google listed on the first page, you usually got to pay $500 a month. Unless you set it up using Google products, then you get shot straight to the top every time for free. And Google sites are free. Now Califa Media sets those up. We just charge for the labor. We're not like, oh, pay me $100 for the site and then $100 for the work. Nuh-uh. The site is free and the setup is cheap. But you can go on our site. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. But you can get to it from. This is our main site for California. We have an event coming up. This is the main website. And you can get to Califa Media through this site, or just Google Califa Media. And there's our website. Okay? What is this? I don't even know what this is. Hold on. Let's go home. There we go. Okay, cool. So there's the site. And like I said, we do this for you. We can do this for you, right? And here's something that I do that I haven't seen other publishing companies doing. This brother wrote, this is Sheikh Abdullah's book, right? Instead of emailing him back and forth, and waiting for him to reply, waiting for me to reply, we have writer's block set up. Okay? Where if you are working with us to have your editorial done, we set up a website for you so that you can look at your stuff whenever you want. It's a collaboration site, right? Like right now, like I said, this is the one I haven't heard from. And it's a collaboration site. If we come on here and see what I've done, and I can see his comments on what I've done, whenever we feel like it. Then, when we're done, this is his site. If he wants to use this to market his book, he can. All of his material, everything, all his work is here. And then we can change it up to be a marketing site when we're all set and done. And it's always going to be here. Like, oh, I want to do another book. You know where to upload my instructions, and I know where to look for the instructions. You know where I'm going to upload my responses, and you know where to look for the responses. And it's a free website. It's not free. It's part of the registration, but you get a website to go with it. Right? But that's writer's block. This one is like, oh, I'm not going to show. That's our Grand Chief's page. I'll show it to you. I'm going to put him on blast for being a slave driver. Yeah, he keeps me extremely busy. Right? So yeah. This is just his in progress site. He has another one where I actually keep his materials. But yeah, we set up websites for you. If you it comes with the editorial service. And I'm just gonna click through a few of the pages. Islamic literature. We're still waiting. Need some stuff like this. Need it. We have Moorish literature, and including it with the Moorish literature, it's going to be MST of A literature, where we're going to revise all the, I'm going to revise everything, because I'm tired of getting these cheap copies of stuff that look like, oh, he just printed this on his printer and stapled everything. That's fine. I want a real quality copy that looks like it goes on a bookshelf. All right? And here goes a few of our books. Oh, and I should have mentioned, like on this side, we have everything that's currently available, like the children's calendar. That was pretty cool. I like that one. And that one, even though it's May already, it's a good calendar to have because it has coloring sheets and all the holidays in it are our holidays. Okay. And if you pre-order, like these books are not available yet, but if you pre-order, all the books are always 25% off if you pre-order it. But I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So, if y'all have any questions?
Buddy, you got the curriculum question? That's what we talked to right there.
Questions, comments?
The school questions? That's what you talked to right there. So you can bring up some stuff now if you want. Alright, we should be good.
Did you bring a copy of the song? Did you copy of it? She made it beautiful. What? She made a really nice poem, like for our children's book, right? Really?
Embarrassing. Hey now.
Oh, so funny. Seriously, it's really nice.
We're gonna go into the book at all.
Oh, I'm going to repeat myself?
Whatever.
I can go into that one real quick, but like I was saying, it's just a collection of original publications.
Right.
Like I said, there's different, like Library of Congress is a good example. We did not get this stuff from the Library of Congress. It's another respected archive. And like I said, somebody donated this stuff to us, and I don't think they were supposed to. But since it's religious material being produced by the organization that put it out in the first place, I took it. I hid everything to protect them. But yeah, it's like, the stuff is amazing. It's got old newspaper clippings. It's got, like I said, it's got letters from the prophet. I think it has a letter in from Emiliel, where he was explaining about how the temple fell apart. He basically said how it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
But it's good to have, right?
Well,
Yeah.
What about you have a copy of Mars in America there?
With me?
The copy, yeah, with you.
No.
Or you have it online that you can go through some of it?
Oh yeah, I can show you some of it.
Yeah. Cause we have about 20 minutes. About 20
okay,
minutes
cool.
And as well,
I
I just got corrected. The Quran is at 1926, not 36.
Even I gotta get a copy of that, please, please. Yeah. Cause like I said, you're trying to find. Oh, that's what else I wanted to show y'all.
Give us your one.
Hold on, that's what else I wanted to show you. The UNH pen. The one I showed you, you've seen this one before. This is the one where, like, if you don't want to be scaring people, oh, that's Baphomet. This is the one that was made for to appease uncomfortable people. I don't like you. All right. This is the one you can see it's much smaller, and somebody's going to be mad. I don't care. It's much smaller. I like the smaller one because it's more discreet. You know, it's more elegant, I guess I should say. And according to the instructions that were found, I was given the instructions out of a copy of the 1928 Moorish Guide, where it says exactly what this thing is supposed to look like. And it's supposed to have an upside down star on it. And it has a meaning. I think it's supposed to represent the women being in distress. The whole thing is online. You can go on Google Moorish Khalifa, and I think it's right up there. Search for unique skin, and the whole story will come up. But let me go in and find. I wonder if I can even open it from here. Moors in America, real quick. I hope I can open it from here. Just a second. And just a second. And like I was saying, the book, a lot willing to be released this month or early next month. All right. Opening the book. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. And this is available. I'm gonna share my screen again. Y'all can see it. I'm gonna go through it real quick. All right. So this is the Moors in America color version. I think this one is 36 online because it costs so much to produce it. That's why I made an electronic version, which is only $7. All right. And this one is very, I think we spoke about it on, I did a presentation on it. I like this one just because it allows you to walk around with a credible resource in your hand, right? It's 189 pages, all good information. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the, I'm going to repeat myself as well. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. And this is black and white because, of course, this is from the 20s. Most of the artifacts were black and white. And this one is $20 or $7 if you buy the Kindle version. Okay. That's the original cover of Humanity. If you don't have a copy of that one, you should. Oh, this is the proposed new version. Because like I said, it's called I'm Going to Repeat Myself because he said he was going to repeat himself. And so, and that goes to the cover too. If you have the cover, let me bring up the cover real quick. Even the cover's got a little special meaning to it. The cover is, as you can see, it's red, black, and green. Because if you notice all of the movements that are for the benefit of our people, they all got red, black, and green represented. So it's repeated. And, you know, he keeps having to repeat himself. That's why the picture's repeated. And so, that being said, we're getting ready to start reviving everything. So, there's going to be a new 101. There's going to be a new humanity. A new version of the questionnaire. No, not the questionnaire, the Quran. And I think I might make it easy for everybody and just put it in one book. I always wondered, why isn't this in just one book? So that's coming soon. Student edition. Yeah, all of these are old letters, as you can see. But you can read all of them. That's the original copy of the 101s. And then I like it because if you buy this, you have an artifact. It's a $20 artifact. Okay? Different newspapers, on the mortgage guys. That's what I was talking about. We had to cover that part up. Because for whatever reason, they don't, they think they can sue you if you try to get your own stuff back and then, put it out for everybody else. Okay. Different letters, newspapers, other artifacts, yeah, stuff like this. Just to say you have it, original membership cards. So you can compare it to yours, right? And then know if you're dealing with an honorable temple or not. Old advertisement, back in the day. Oh, this is the letter I was talking about that talks about the Eunice Pen and the Sisters Auxiliary. And this is actually online. Like I said, it's on our website. We set up a site to celebrate Tag Day and Salvation Week. This article goes into all that. Right there says the meaning of the tag. Okay. All right. That's that for that one. Different artifacts. That's a letter by E. Miliel. Letter by the prophet. And it's that beautiful. You got something with his signature on it in your possession. And then, of course, we do advertisements in the book. We make logos. That's our grand sheet right there. Oh, yeah. Yep, I think that's it for the book. I don't want to give it all away, And like I was saying, if you have anything that, you feel passionate about, that you feel the need to get out to the people, what you want wants you. Don't sit there and let that need exist. Do something about it. And we're here to help. Yeah.
What's up?
Islam.
I think that's that, unless y'all have some more questions. And like I said, we're expanding into merchandise. For instance, I need to get a copy of that Iron Sheik poster of Pluto rapping to the slave. That's a t-shirt. Are you kidding me? Real. At least a poster. And we do distribution too. You can have more than one distributor on the real. Basically anything that, you're trying to communicate, let us know. If you have any ideas, like my sister gave me the bright idea to make hijab pins. Like, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I don't wear hijab, but I know a lot of Nation of Islam people that do. And wouldn't that be a nice way to attract them? So since she gave me the idea, she gets the first one free. So if you give me a bright idea, you might end up with some free stuff too. But I think that's that. Turn this back on. I hope that was clear, informative.
Islam.
Wow. I'm not sure what's going on my Skype. Okay, there we go. Okay.
No question? Everybody's good?
Good.
Straight?
She's on point.
All right, boy, give thanks. Appreciate it. Another thing that you could touch on quickly, the activity in your temple. Right?
Okay.
From what I understand, people take up their activity based on what they have to offer. Because I know a lot of different people do a lot of different things over there. So
right.
Just speaking on how are people inspired to be active in your temple?
They're inspired because we have very inspirational people. We're kind of at an advantage because Los Angeles County has 12 million people. Okay? This place people are packed on top of each other. So it's not hard to find somebody who's into what you're into. Like an aside, there's a cat circus out here with a cat band. And there's an audience to support it. Right? I'm not joking. I was dying when I saw the cat playing the drums. But anyway, so I tell the Moors here, everybody wants to come to a party that's already started. You start people gonna see you doing it and be like, they just don't, it's like with children, they gonna come sit next to you and start playing too. So I was blessed to find a Moore who is intense. He's a perfectionist, all right? Like I said, his ringtone on my phone is Slave Driver, all right? But that's okay because we produce quality work together. And so now that people are seeing the quality, I'm in the background. I try to stay in the background as much as possible. I'm here to assist, you know. I'm all about playing the women's role because the Quran says if I do that, you know, the rewards of my life are peace and happiness, right? So it's like, shoot, you can take all the credit for this stuff. I'm just the gardener. And they see how productive he's been, which makes them want to bring their stuff. Again, book. All these Moors have been in our face with book and didn't say nothing until they saw we had one and that we were trying to put out more. So I guess it goes back to that tenant, be the change that you want to see. So if I want to start something with Sharia law, I'm going to start studying law. I'm not going to put out an advertising. I'm just, like I put out a blog saying, oh, here go all the research on telemedicine. So, you know, this electrified age, doctors can take advantage, you know, they can go on vacation or be on the run from the law and still go practice medicine as long as they do it on the telephone. And I made it into a blog and posted it online. Next thing I know, Cujo responded, Cosmo responded, this other European responded. Get it? So whatever it is, that's basically, I don't know what they're doing. That's the formula I've been working off of. It's like, well, I'm just going to sit down and start playing. So that's resulted in the whole, that's why I think they took me off of the education thing, because I just neglected it and focused completely on the media part, which is the history part. And next thing I know, oh, he wants to write a book. He wants to get his music out. He wants to start a TV station. It just keeps growing like that. And then, okay, the second thing, how I go to a lot of school events. I homeschool, but I still don't show up at LA Unified School District events, right? Because I'm letting them know the Moors in your face. Next thing I know, I see my picture in the newspaper. And they're like, who's that sister? Is that a button? Yes, it is. Would you like to know more about it? We're easy to find. Just Google Moors in California. And yeah, it's funny how we just keep showing up in everybody's stuff. But I guess that's what the thing is. You know, we just get started. You know, Moors are active, not passive, right? And like minds attract like minds. And it's working for us. It's working real well. You know, I'm kind of a little bit out of the loop because I'm taking a little break because this stuff is kind of intense. I'm taking a break and just focusing on the books and the publication for like maybe a couple of weeks, maybe months. But as far as their activity, it's about getting good people to work with you and keeping them working with you. You know, there's a lot to be said about appreciation and not handling people carelessly and taking advantage of their kindness. Because I've seen people come and go just because, you know, well, you've been doing it, just keep doing it, and you never say thank you. So next thing you know, those people just disappear. And they went and got a job, you know, something crazy like that. So it's happening. Maybe the biggest hindrance I can see right now is just that Moors don't see the benefit of it, which is fine. Which is why I started My Brother's Keeper, because I'm trying to corner the market on brothers. Because eventually they will see the benefit of being a Moor. And all these women gonna be hunting y'all down. Worse than they already are, you can imagine that. Because okay, you already got the stilo going. Now it's been proven and verified that you really are the one, right? Okay, yeah. So it's gonna be one of those things. Yeah, the women gonna be in charge of finding your wives. Oh, okay. It says stop sharing screens. I don't know why it said I'm sharing screens. Okay. I hope that answers the question.
Islam. Give thanks to Califa Media.
Thank you. Once again, Wars in America compilation is available on Kindle, but you get it cheaper if you buy it through Califa Media. I'm going to repeat myself. It's available through Amazon and Kindle. Again, get it cheaper if you buy it through Califa Media. And we have 2 more books coming out within the next 2 months. Unless somebody else wants something else done, and then maybe we'll have 3 or 4 more coming out. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. If you know any students who are looking for an internship for this summer, particularly in some form of communication, Califa Media does that. And it does not matter that they are in Canada. I don't care, because I know how to do internships, because I went to college. So it'll help that student out because they get school credit. Can't pay you, but we can get you school credit. And it'll help us out because it gets our name into that university. Or, if you're interested, we can help you set up Canaanland Media. Y'all need your own stuff. For real.
What's up?
Franchise. I'm not about keeping stuff. I tell people, let me show you how to do this so I can go do something else. For real. You know, I ain't one of those, well, I know how to do it. I'm going to keep it in, I'm going to hide it till the day I die and have it buried with me. No. Let me show you how to do it too. For real. Like I said, if you got somebody in college, even if it's like a business major, let me show you how to set up a publishing company. You know, and then you're going to graduate and have a publishing company. And I'm going to send you all that Young People's North League thing too.
Yes.
And you can go on college campuses and start handing those out and let them know. This is the type of, what is it, May already? They have to start graduating. They're looking for something to do. So unless, you know, if you want to, like I won't mention no names, but I went and visited Omar there on a college campus, and I could not believe he didn't have no temple set up. He didn't have nothing, not even a youth outreach. And you within walking distance of a college campus. That's shameful. Because you know how college students are. They're trying to change the world. You better go get them.
Gotta close out, Mark? Close out? All right. We'll just close out. And that'll be that. Give thanks again.
Thank you.
It's love.
It's great. I love talking to the Lord.
Islam. Islam was 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Face the east. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom.
And
justice.
justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
By
night.
night.
And by day.
By day.
For his holy prophet.
His holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali. Ashe. Islam.
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 Hotep.
Islam.